another chair to use as like, can I take this? How lovely. Nice to meet you. And it's nice that, yeah.
But I do meditate myself every single day.
How many years have you been meditating?
Started around 1984.
That's fantastic. So, do you just do open awareness mostly, where you're just...
No, I actually went to the Self-Realization Fellowship for a while, so I'm using their meditation, the Om meditation, and the breathing one. Have a mantra breathing out. Then I've also adapted to a Jewish one that I do on Shabbat. That is, I do the tetragram, So I do good, the in-breath, and then visualize food on the out-breath, and try to see it. And that's a powerful one.
It is powerful. You imagine a whole healing life going in again. I love that. Yeah. I teach all different kinds of meditation.
Happy. Yeah, so that's okay.
Everything else is like,
Beautiful.
I will talk to you. To a compassion meditation in one way or another. So that it always ends up being a loving kindness meditation in one way or another. But
How long have you been teaching?
since 2014. And a mindful self-compassion teaching, which is separate. That's a set curriculum. And also,
When did you start studying?
say, 2008. Good stuff. Yeah. Your wife's so great. It's nice to see you again.
There isn't much ugly. All right, this is yours. Yep. All right. Shavua Tov, everybody. Does everybody have one of these sheets? Okay, if you don't have a sheet, come and take one. So you have? Okay. So we're going to leave. Do you have a sheet? Everybody have a sheet? You want a sheet? Okay. We'll leave these as people come in. We'll leave those. So, first of all, welcome. We are blessed to have Julie Potiker help us enter into this sacred time together and really to bring us into this moment of meditation, through meditation, through the spirit of what I believe is at the heart of everything that we're about to encounter. And every year since I've been here, which is now my third High Holy Days with all of you, which will be wonderful. This year will look a little different because it'll look a little more like you're used to, I believe. One of the things that we've been doing is we've been working on themes. So the first year we did Bimakom, when there's no way in a place where there's no humans strive to be human, and really focusing on humanity and what we can do and what our part is. Last year we did a theme of Inani Limili, if I'm not for myself, who will be for me? And we went over issues of anti-Semitism, pride, memory, all of those things that really struck at the core of what was going on for us as Jewish community. This year, we decided with our world kind of in flux, our own internal, perhaps, struggles and questions and wrestlings and yearnings, we thought about, and because we know that we're going to have fuller physical sacred partnerships in our sanctuary and our overflow this year, we wanted to go to return, rejoice, and renew. Return, rejoice. So return, rejoice, and renew. And so that's going to be the thread that's going to take us through our high holy days. And so all of our sermons, you'll see, will have thematic, underpinnings of those themes. Some action steps and elements that will drive our planning this year, and really try to think about how do we return to space, but how do we return to ourselves? How do we find joy and simcha even in the challenges of everyday life? And then how do we renew? How do we figure to bring ourselves renewal in these moments? And so when I was speaking with Julie loves to ground her work in the text that we're going to explore. And so my piece is very short. Give me 7-8 minutes. We're good to go. And Julie is going to build off of that and take us through
If you believe a rabbi when he says my piece is very short, I have some swampland for you.
I promise we're going to be short. This is actually more text than we need. So I'm going to keep it short. But what I would love to do is I just want to frame, again, the three pieces: the return, the rejoice, and renew. So can I have someone read just the first opening paragraph for return real loud, if you can? Someone read. Volunteer. Go ahead, Bob.
Return. Preparing to the high holy days. If our actions in God's presence are determined with what values we choose, then turning toward God we need to go shape our way.
Okay, so hold that for a second, right? This idea of turning. Now, if you think of return, you think of I'm coming back to where I began, but that's not it. Shuv, the root of it is the turn. So where you actually turn. So if you're going this way, you're turning. And where that direction goes is a question mark. We don't actually, the rabbis know that there's a hope, and the foundation is Torah, right? And those are the mitzvot, are the action steps that help us, are the footwork, that I like to call them the footwork. That's the footwork, is Torah. But there's more to it. Tshuva, you're going to hear tonight through our meditative moments and also through our Selihot service, is really about what we do with return. And so the idea return again, you've heard that reframe a number of times, is woe to the wicked who die without doing tshuva, meaning when you're in that time of penitence, which Selihot is about, is excuse me, forgiveness, I'm sorry. Those pieces are about looking at how you do the work. If you've gone throughout your life and haven't actually turned in some way, and then our tradition says you haven't done the work. You actually haven't done you cannot expect God to provide if you haven't done your own footwork. So I'm breaking it down. This is a la Rabbi Jason commentary, right? This is the how I see it, right? The footwork is the catalyst, the mitzvot are the catalyst through allowing the divine to enter into your sacred space. And that may be, for many of us, there are different modalities to achieve that, but here's the frame. Then we move to rejoice. Can someone read rejoice? Go ahead.
Rejoice. Simchat Torah, which literally means rejoicing in the Torah, is a joy-filled celebration marking the completion of the annual reading of the Torah from Genesis to Deuteronomy.
Beautiful. So we have that idea, right? We come back, we start to go deep. We dive deep on Kol Nidre. We go down into the depths. We are experiencing almost like our own funerals. And then we stay in the belly of the Dag Gadol, of the big fish, right, like Jonah. And then on Nilah, we rise up again and hope to begin. And when we get to Simchat Torah, we're rejoicing because we get to renew that with a sense of new understanding for Torah, because we turn the Torah around and get ready to read it again. And so Rabbi Dov Peretz Elkins says the following, which I just want to share with you. I think I'm going to share the piece at the back, which is confessions in Judaism, you'll notice, are always in the plural. You may have not noticed that. We've sinned, we have transgressed. They're always meant to be said by the entire congregation, even by those individuals who feel themselves have not been guilty of the sins enumerated, right? Even if you didn't do that personally, but collectively, we must own something. There has to be something there. And then, the reasons for the use of the plural and the recitations by the congregation are manifold, and this is in accordance with the principle that all Jews are responsible for another. When an individual Jew celebrates, the whole community rejoices. So our tradition says you're not supposed to be alone in times of sadness, nor are you supposed to be alone in times of joy. So that, right, Simcha, we invite everybody, we bring everybody. Death and mourning, what do? We surround ourselves in Shiva. Here, the same idea. Rejoicing is not a personal, singular expression. It is communal. And so rejoicing is the second piece of the framework of returning and being in community and being able to celebrate and honor that. For some people, that community is online and have made that their way. Sometimes it's mixed. It's a mixed bag. Sometimes it's in person, wherever that is. But community is about rejoicing. Even if we're rejoicing in Kol Nidre, which is sad and painful, and we're doing the Al Chetz and we're banging our chests, the rejoicing stays within the context and construct of community. So now the final one. I think I'm on time. I'm challenging you. Okay. Renew.
I don't have a watch, so I can't.
Okay.
He's going to have to return.
I know, it's okay. So give me renew. Somebody give me renew. Go ahead. Go ahead, Renee.
Beginning again. One of our most powerful psychological adversaries is resignation. The sinking feeling that your life will never change. We are part of one endless merry-go-round that continues to repeat similar patterns, albeit in different shapes, forms, and changes scenery, but do not fundamentally alter our reality. Teaches us that we have the power to literally renew and revitalize our lives. Through prayer, focus, and effort, we can pierce the mountain surface and access the enormous energy that lies beneath brimming with new possibilities.
And this is why we're here tonight, is you've returned. We're rejoicing because we're together. And our stomachs are a little full. You're noshed, right? Everybody is a little noshed? Okay, good. So that's good. And we're here to renew. And for everybody that looks, each and every one of us, that will look different. That will be a different expression of ourselves. And always remembering that we're part of a greater understanding of community, but also greater than that, that we're all interconnected in some way. For people to say that we're not interconnected, for me, I never understand it, because all of humanity in some way is interconnected on the spiritual plane, in ways in the physical plane that we don't even understand. But I'm hopeful that Julie will help take us there tonight. So that's where we are, and I offer and I share with you.
That was a great lead-in, and I brought a couple poems tonight, and I wasn't sure which one I was going to use, and he just queued it up beautifully. So at the end of the meditation, I'm going to read a poem. And just for a show of hands, how many people in the room have never meditated? And don't be shy. Okay, you're in good hands. Don't worry about it. So I'm a trauma-sensitive mindfulness teacher, as well as a mindful self-compassion teacher and a experience-dependent neuroplasticity teacher trainer, which is just to say that I want you guys to feel safe, because there's always trauma in the room with humans, because humans experience trauma. So if there's ever anything that comes out of my mouth that feels icky in your body, feels scary, feels any way other than fine, don't listen to me. You need to take care of yourself. Open your eyes. If your eyes are closed, get up, get a glass of water, leave the practice, go to the bathroom, because when you are on a journey in your mind and you're thinking about something fantastic, which is your prompt, sometimes other things arise. You're being prompted to think about being safe, and sometimes a time when you were not safe is triggered and it comes up into your memory. And until you are a seasoned meditator, that can be scary. And I don't want anybody to have a bad experience. And since I don't know all of you personally, there's many people in the room that have been meditating with me for 2.5 years now, every single week. So they know to take care of themselves. But for people, for new friends here, people that I haven't met yet, and I'm very happy to meet you, I just want to make sure that everybody knows that they can make this practice their own. So if in mindfulness, things arise and you notice them, oh, that's joy arising, that's love arising, that's I feel expansive in my heart, whatever it is. You usually don't have a problem with that. But if fear is arising, or anger is arising, or sadness or grief is arising, sometimes there'll be a little constricted feeling, and I want you to take care of yourself. And in my day-to-day life as a teacher, I teach the tools for how to regulate your nervous system, so that when you have those experiences, you don't need to be scared because you can take care of yourself. You have your own back. Did you have a question before we start? Yeah.
How do you define the term meditation?
Okay, so that's a good question. Did everybody hear it? How do you define the term meditation? Meditation's like a grab bag. So there's so many kinds of meditation. There's transcendental meditation, there's yoga, tai chi, qigong, walking meditation. Those are all moving. There's open awareness, which I teach just a few moments of at the end of a guided visualization or guided meditation, because that's when you're a more seasoned meditator and you can just be alone with your thoughts and not latch on to any storyline and get hijacked by it. Open awareness meditation. Then there's guided meditation, which is what we're about to do, and guided visualization, which we'll do a little bit of too. Anything that takes you from time traveling to the past and to the present can be meditation. And mindfulness in daily life is like when you're drinking your coffee and you're not thinking about your to-do list, or you're cutting vegetables and you're really experiencing the knife in your hand, the color of the vegetables, the aroma when you're cooking. That's mindfulness. Brushing your teeth with your eyes closed so that you can taste the toothpaste and feel how the toothbrush feels in your mouth. That's mindfulness. All of those moments of being now, not in the past and not in the future, which we're actually wired to do. It's not our fault, right? All of those mindfulness and daily life moments add up to time in formal meditation in terms of brain health. So anytime during your day that you can drop into what you're doing when you're doing it is really good for your health. It decreases inflammation, your heart rate goes down, your blood pressure goes down, your telomeres stay longer. It's just like, for it not being a pill, it's miraculous how healthy it is. You're welcome. Okay, are we all ready? All righty. So I'm just going to use my phone. If you see me looking down, it's just to note the time because my watch is on the blink, so I don't have a watch on. So let's find a comfortable seat, as comfortable as these chairs can possibly be for you. And you may want to rock a little bit on your tush to really feel where your sit bones are. And make contact with the chair. And then sit back and feel where your back makes contact with the chair. And now I'm going to suggest that we all close our eyes, but if that makes you feel a little ooky, by all means, keep your eyes gentle downward gaze, just to minimize distractions. And we're going to start by taking 3 nourishing breaths, and we're going to breathe in for 4 and out for 6. It doesn't matter whether it's your nose, your mouth, one of each. Starting to slow down. Okay, Let your breath find its natural rhythm now. Relax the top of your scalp. Relax your forehead. Relax your eyebrows. Breath is easy. Relax your eyeballs and your eye sockets. If your eyes are fully closed, imagine your eyelids just smooth and cozy. Release your jaw, trying to remove all the tension from your face. You can even unhinge your jaw and move your chin right and left, just to really let go of all the tension that builds up through the day in your face. And then when you're ready to close your lips, let your teeth remain parted. And imagine a slight smile to the outside corners of your lips. Dropping that smile down now to your throat. Smooth, soften. And dropping the smile down into your chest. And as you do that, imagine your shoulders moving down your back, just to enable this incredibly elegant open chest. And hang out for a couple breath cycles in your heart center there. Just notice what you feel, what you hear. Dropping your awareness now down into your belly. Let your abs hang out. Mind is settling as you release your hips into what is supporting you. And really feel the support. Let your thighs and your knees relax. Your calves and your ankles relax. And your feet. Now pay attention to your feet inside your shoes and see when you shine the light of your awareness on your feet if you can notice the temperature of your feet and whether they're moist or whether they feel dry. And then imagine the soles of your feet being rooted down through your shoes, through the carpet, through the floor, into the earth. Like incredible, magnificent roots with nourishment going up and down. You're also incredibly rooted sideways to all the other roots. So you're just being this magnificently grounded and held below ground. Yet up above, you're flexible. You can move, you can sway. Popping your awareness to your shoulders so that you can waterfall relaxation down your arms, through your elbows and your wrists and down to your fingertips. And now paying attention to your hands, see if you can feel your hands from the inside out. And then place one or both of your good hands on your worthy body where you find it soothing. It might be your heart, it might be your belly, it might be cradling your face like a little Shana Punam. It might be holding onto your arms or even holding one hand in another. But for a couple breath cycles, this soothing touch is a magical physiological experience that I want you to have in your body. You're parenting yourself. Now, the anchor of awareness is going to be our breath for a couple cycles, where you're seeing and feeling your body breathing in, little gap at the top, and breathing out, little gap at the bottom. And I'll be quiet, and you just focus, seeing and feeling your body going in, the breath going in, the breath coming out. And if your hands are in soothing touch and you'd like to release them, you can do so at any time onto your lap. And now I'm inviting you to call to mind a being that brings you joy. When you call up an image of this cat or dog or grandchild or best friend, a smile arises on your face just because seeing them is so fun and wonderful. Just choose one right now. You can add more people later, so don't feel bad. For right now, you're just calling up an image of one being. And when you have that being in your mind's eye, take a notice of if it's an animal, the fur color, if it's a human, the skin tone, eye color, and just the general sense that you get inside your body beholding this being that makes you happy. I'm going to give you a series of phrases that you are going to repeat in your mind, but if you have your own loving kindness phrases, feel free to sub them. So, to this being that makes you happy, it's so easy to say, may you be safe. May you be happy, may you be healthy, and may you live your life with ease. May you live your life with ease. Around and round these phrases go. If your mind wanders, coming right back to the image and the phrases, may you be safe, may you be happy, may you be healthy, and may you live with ease. Now you're invited to add yourself to that photo in your mind's eye, and wow, it feels good to be together. May we be safe, may we be happy, may we be healthy, and may we live with ease. Just as all beings wish to be safe and free from suffering, so do we. May it be so. Opening up now the circle to add other people in your life. Could be a big group photo. May we be safe. May we be happy. May we be as healthy as we can possibly be. And may we find moments of ease. Now imagining the globe, the earth. If you're interested in opening up the circle of compassion, you can paint broad strokes of love over cities and states and continents and provinces. May we be safe. May we be happy. May we be as healthy as we can possibly be. And in this crazy world we live in, may we find moments of ease to string together. Thinking about the planet Earth and all sentient beings, thinking about the trees and the mountains and the oceans and what's below and what's above. May we be safe. May we be happy. May we be healthy as we can. And may we find moments of ease, please. May we be safe, happy, healthy, find ease. Now letting the words go, but staying in the meditation for a couple moments of open awareness, just to see, since you've been on this journey, what thoughts, feelings, or emotions arise, and imagining them blowing through like clouds on the big sky of your mind. Just noticing. Staying in the meditation and just letting the words of this poem roll through your consciousness. It's called Space by Julie Potiker. Dust rings, gaps, torque, gravitational pull, 2 trillion galaxies, 200 billion trillion stars, red, white, and blue, smaller to bigger, cooler to hotter, farther to closer, black holes colliding, making a sound. And me, here, orbiting others, attracting, repelling, spinning, standing still, smaller to bigger, cooler to hotter, closer to farther, making a sound, a speck of dust, stardust. Now wiggling your fingers and wiggling your toes, and when you hear the sounds of the chimes, gently coming back into this space. Stretch if it would be helpful. I'm very, very interested in answering any questions or just having you share what that was like for you. Thank you, Valerie.
Made me think of how out of practice I am doing around people that I feel guilty.
That's great. Did everybody hear her? She feels out of practice being with people. And you know what? Me too. Me too. I've been teaching on Zoom. It's almost 3 years. It's crazy. And I'm very happy to be here with all of you. So we know from meditation that our energy bodies actually do make a difference in the planet. When we meditate, it does help other humans that aren't even meditating. And we know from science that we're mirroring each other's neurons right now, which is a beautiful thing. So thank you for your practice, and thank you for showing up in person. And I know that mirroring neurons actually happens on Zoom, but I know that it's easier, better, and more solid in person. Any other questions? Or comments even? Did people like it? Did they hate it? They want to try it again? There's a podcast, Balanced Mind with Julie Potiker, that's got over 100 of these on it. That's free anywhere you get your podcasts. You could do this every single day and your body would thank you. Mila?
To hear the resonance of the bells. Because on Zoom, for those of you who don't know, the audio goes so you kind of get ding, and it stops, and that was just, oh, thank you.
Oh, I'm so glad. And I brought these all the way from Bhutan. I did a mindful self-compassion tour in the Kingdom of Bhutan, and that's where these are from. How are you? Are you okay? Are you good?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Did you take a ride?
It was okay. So this was my second one of the day, but it was fantastic. It was wonderful. The guy was perfect.
So are they starting now? No? Okay.
We have a few minutes. We have a little time.
Yeah. Is daydreaming like meditation? Yet. Okay, no, those are two different questions, and they're both good questions. They're both really good questions. Daydreaming can be like meditation, yes? It's like a visualization, like a guided visualization, because you're not really worrying and ruminating when you're daydreaming. When you're spacing out driving your car, no. That's dangerous. Let me know what your car looks like, and I'll make sure I'm 2 lanes over. Okay. You drove with her, and you're taking the wheel on the way home. It's like that Woody Allen scene, you know. Ronnie, did you have a question? So did everybody hear Ronnie? She's talking about having a visceral sense of oneness and common humanity, because we're all here being good eggs at one time, making a crazy omelet. You know, this is like the very best thing we could do. You could tell I teach with humor, right? This is like the very best thing we could be doing, and we're doing it together, and it's frickin' kumbaya in the best sense of the word. You know, it's awesome. And then the people that we bang into energetically get the benefit of that. Did you have a question? Yay! And so you're going to do it again with Balanced Mind with Julie Potiker every single day. Yeah, and you'll get to hear over 100 poems. Most of them aren't mine. They're like actual, real published poets. So, anybody else before we get to the gorgeous music part? Oh, so it's every Wednesday morning at 10 o'clock on Zoom through Congregation Beth Israel, and I've been doing it since the lockdown. So So there's about 25 or 30 people that usually pop in every week, and they all know each other, and newcomers are welcome. And they're not all CBI members, and they're not all San Diegans. And occasionally they're not even Jewish, which is fantastic. I think it's the community of humans. So, all right.
Beautiful. Thank you, really. Thank you, Julie, so much for this experience and for us to be able to really hold and think about what Julie framed for us in the ideas that we're talking about, this returning, rejoice, and renew, right? This idea of being in the power, as Ronnie said, the power of the community, that you know that there's a community around you, and the silence, it's deafening, but you can feel the energy. That's why this is so important, and that's why I believe the work of meditation is so important. It's a very large practice in my life, and hadn't been. And sometimes it's just a minute or 5 minutes a day. It can be very short, and to ground us, because this is about grounding. And this whole experience of Selihot is about grounding, is about grounding into ourselves, into our hearts, into our souls, digging deep. And for those who've been coming for Elul or tuning in, you know that it's a warm-up. This doesn't happen overnight. You don't walk into synagogue on Erev Rosh Hashanah and say, okay, let's go. A lot of people do it. Thousands of people do it. But the secret is that it actually is a warm-up. It's a spiritual nourishment. It's a warm-up. It takes energy. It takes energy for us to write, to share the words from our souls and our hearts in order to bring it to you. It takes time. And this is what this moment is about, is really to dive deep and dive inward into that experience. And Julie has given us her gift to enter into that sacred time and space together. So we have our many amazing musicians and our clergy, and are going to help guide this experience this evening. So we're in our Elul prayer books. If you haven't received one, please feel free to grab one as you've entered this evening. Thank you. Thank you.
In your prayer books, if you'll turn to page 99, we begin to separate ourselves, Shabbat, from the rest of the week, but primarily as we begin our Selihot, our prayers of forgiveness. We draw in our tradition, and we separate this time into the season of the high holidays, using all of our senses. And if you're able, please rise. Perhaps put your arm around someone that you're close to. The Jews of old knew light and gladness, honor and joy. May we, their descendants, know them as well. Hinei el Yeshuati.
בין קודש, בין קודש לחול, עתותינו ימחול. זרענו וכספנו ירבה כחול, והכוכבים בלילה. שבוע טוב, 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 שבוע טוב. A good week, a week of peace. May gladness reign and joy
Shavua Tov.
Shavua Tov.
I hope many of our bodies are relaxed, our minds a little bit more at ease. Moment, an easier way to enter into this space. Space where we come together. Space where we're in touch with those online who are joining us on our online community. Those who are behind the beautiful instruments, both vocal and instrumental, that bring us the divine and seep it into our hearts, into our souls. This is the moment that the penitential elements of the High Holy Days enter. The time where Salach Lanu becomes the rhythmic patterns of our minds. And the idea is that we're not supposed to live in the forgiveness element, but it's supposed to resonate. It's supposed to be a theme and a thread that drives us through this time that we are together. And it's more to do with what we do outside of these walls and outside of this campus than it does with the work that we do as we have the prayer book on the screen or in front of us, and as we're pounding our chest a little bit, just to feel the pangs of what we need to go through. Yes, that's critical in that moment, but it's actually the conduit through how we operate each and every day. And so it's the reminder, it's the teacher, it's the inspiration that keeps us going, that keeps the harmony, the relevance of our Jewish journey flowing through the thread and the breath of our lives, as the noise can seem to cancel it out or cancel ourselves out, how do we manage to maintain our own expansiveness within the constructs that are placed upon us? The Yamim Noraim, the 10 days that we will enter next Sunday evening, will be that journey that we will take together, and we will wrestle this year. We will question. We will challenge our own selves, our own hearts. And tonight I always like to say this is the appetizer of High Holy Days. And you are lucky you have the crudité du jour right in front of us. We are here together to rock our hearts and to tremble our souls in beautiful, deep ways. And so let us do that together. I invite you to turn to page 106. And we'll read responsively. At midnight I rise to give thanks and praise, and so come to this hour of Selihot under the canopy of night to celebrate goodness, to proclaim what is right and true, to praise, to thank, to bless the great giver who gives and renews our lives. We turn to loved ones, to friends, and to our people everywhere, the whole house of Israel. And our hearts turn toward the human family. We pray for its healing. Yet hardest of all is the inward gaze, the return of ourself, the honest reckoning of our soul, cheshbon hanefesh. We ask, how to account for selfish acts, lies, and senseless anger? How to account for the shadows, the storms, the bitterness in our lives, the damage and distress we cause? How to up to it all and find our way back with integrity and peace? We ask, have we the will to change? And if not now, when? Turn to page 104.
I will build this world from love. Yalla la la la, yalla la la. You must build this world from love. Yalla la la la, yalla la la. And if we build this world from love, yalla la la la, yalla la la, then God will build this world from love. Yalla la la la, yalla la la. Olam chesed yibane, yalla la la, yalla la la. Olam chesed yibane, yalla la
I invite you to turn to page 108. So we join together at the top of the page. God is my light and my refuge secure. Whom shall I fear? God is a stronghold of my life. Of whom should I be afraid? Just one thing I have asked of God. Only this do I seek, to dwell in God's house all the days of my life, to behold divine sweetness and beauty, and to gaze in delight at
God's temple.
come from God, maker of heaven and earth, Isai and I, El Harim, Isai.
It is tonight that we begin that profoundly introspective process central to the high holidays called Cheshbon HaNefesh, the accounting of the soul or self-examination. On page 110 is a reading that we can begin with as we look inward. Over thousands of years, we are lucky to say that we are the remnant of the people of Israel. On page 111, we pray, Guardian of Israel, watch over Israel's remnant and of those among Israel who say, Shema Yisrael, let none be lost. Guardian of our unity, watch over the remnant of our one people and those who say, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, to proclaim your oneness. Let none be lost. Shomer, Shomer, Yisrael. Shomer, Shomer, Yisrael. Shemor, Sherit, Yisrael.
Shomer, Shomer Yisrael. Shemor, Sherit Yisrael. Shemor, Sherit Yisrael. Ve'al Yovad, Ve'al Yovad, Ve'al Yovad Yisrael. Haomerim Shema Yisrael.
Page 117. Ki anu amecha. This is based on the Song of Songs. My beloved is mine, and I am my beloved's. And a midrash applies to the verse in our relationship with the divine and expands on its dimensions. This is my God. I am God's nation. This is my parent, and I am God's child. This is my shepherd, and I am God's flock. This is my guard, and I am God's vineyard. Ki anu amecha.
Ki anu amecha, ve'ata Eloheinu, anu banecha, ve'ata Avinu, anu avadecha, ve'ata Adonenu, anu kalecha, ve'ata chelkeinu, anu nachalecha, ve'ata goralenu, anu tzonecha, ve'ata roheinu, anu charmecha, ve'ata nodreinu, anu kulavecha, ve'ata yotreinu, anu rayatecha, ve'ata dodenu, anu sgulatecha, ve'ata keroveinu, anu amecha, ve'ata malkeinu, anu marecha, ve'ata mamireinu.
In just a moment, we will be changing the Torah covers to white. And this color testifies to our optimism that the hard work of repentance will bear ample spiritual fruit. As the prophet Isaiah says, may your sins like crimson, they can turn white as snow. In these words lie our conviction that we can triumph over weakness and wrongdoing, and our faith that we will, as the age-old blessing puts it, be inscribed for the coming year in the book of life. When we open the ark and rise, we will also pray Adonai, Adonai, which describes the 13 divine attributes, which constitute the original core of Selihot, the songs of forgiveness. For the sages, the name Adonai signified God's compassion, while Elohim referred to divine justice. They saw in these verses 13 aspects of divine compassion. The Talmud explains the repetition of God's name this way. Adonai extends mercy before we sin, and Adonai responds with mercy when we repent after sinning. Compassionate forbearance allows the relationship to continue, a lesson in forgiveness that we might emulate in our own relationships. We rise as we turn to page 120. For the first of many times these high holy days, we turn to Ashamnu, the litany of wrongs and alphabetical acrostic. It's shorter than of the two communal confessions that we will offer. Both confessions, as Rabbi Navarez mentioned earlier, are phrased in the first person plural. We all confess together, acknowledging all sins committed within the community, so that no individual is personally shamed. The custom of striking our heart while confessing our sins is first mentioned in a midrash on Ecclesiastes 7:2, which says, "The living will lay it to heart." Rabbi Meir commented saying, "Why do people strike their hearts in remorse for their sins? Because the heart is the seat and the source of sin." We join together at the top of page 127. Our God and God of all generations, may our prayers reach your presence. And when we turn to you, do not be indifferent. Adonai, we are arrogant and stubborn, claiming to be blameless and free of sin. In truth, we have stumbled and strayed. We have done wrong. Together, we confess. Together, we take responsibility.
Page 130. For these sins, our God, we ask forgiveness.
שחטאנו לפניך באונס וברצון, ועל חטא שחטאנו לפניך בזדון ובשגגה. על חטא שחטאנו לפניך בגלוי ובסתר, ועל חטא שחטאנו לפניך בזדונים ובלא יודעים. על חטא שחטאנו לפניך בשנאת חינם, ועל חטא שחטאנו לפניך ברכילות. על החטא שחטאנו לפניך בצרות עין, ועל חטא שחטאנו לפניך באימוץ הלב.
Page 131. Together. We stray and we sin when we fail to make peace the highest good, and when we are silent in the face of evil. For when we forsake those who suffer far away, and when we shun the wronged and destitute among us, when we diminish God's image through violence or indifference, and when we fail to take care of those who depend on us, when we engage in slander or deceit, and when we distort the truth for personal gain, when we judge others rashly or unfairly, and when we stoke the fires of communal strife, when we fail to embrace Torah, the tree of life, to walk its paths and make its ways our own. We stray and we sin, when we offer no blessings, no words of thanks, for the breath within us, and for the wonder of being.
ועל כולם אלוה סליחות, סלח לנו מחלנו, כפר לנו. ועל כולם אלוה סליחות, סלח לנו מחלנו, סלח לנו מחלנו, כפר לנו.
God, help us through these days of awe to prepare ourselves for the new year with its promise of new life for my body and our soul. Help us face questions we wish to avoid. Help us accept truths that do not comfort. We wish to journey to the light, but the path to it is hidden by all the promises we never kept, by the goodness we deserted. May the words from the past show us the way of return. We begin the road to repent us. Meet us, God, as we journey on it.
Shema kolenu Adonai Eloheinu Hu verachem aleinu Shema kolenu Adonai Eloheinu Hu verachem aleinu Hashivenu
Happy are we who know the sacred sound, the joyful shout, reads the book of Psalms. In a moment, we will hear the sound of the shofar. And when we hear the shofar, I want to encourage you to see this as a time when the fears and insecurities that we all battle throughout the year can dissolve. Discard the negative messages that come from within and outside ourselves, and fill that space with the resonant sound of the shofar, inspiring each of us to see this moment as a new beginning. As the shofar blows, breathe, focus. The shofar is our ancient meditation, encouraging us to withdraw from the noise of life and go in. It prods us to get intimate with ourselves and ponder our state of existence. It requests of us to be still, quiet, and open to the blessed unfolding of the new year. So on this Selihot, as the shofar sounds, let's hold on to that quiet just a little bit longer. After we hear the sound of the shofar, we invite you to remain silent as we head out, back to our homes, our lives, our world of noise, chaos, and chasm. May the resonance of the shofar remain with us as we enter the home stretch of our preparations of these high holy days. We remain standing as we join in the middle of page 140 together, followed by singing Avinu Malkeinu, followed by our shofar. Avinu Malkeinu, almighty and merciful, we come before you without pretense together. Avinu Malkeinu, we are reaching toward you. Help us to find you. Avinu Malkeinu, strengthen us for the holy days that lie ahead. Avinu Malkeinu, be with us as we strive to heal ourselves and become whole. Avinu Malkeinu, help us to repair a broken world. Avinu Malkeinu, hasten for us the days of redemption. Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Onenu Vanenu, Ki ein ranu masim, Aseh imanu, Tzedaka v'chesed, Aseh imanu, Tzedaka v'chesed, ve'oshienu, Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Onenu Ranenu, Yeh Banu Masim, Aseh imanu, Tzedaka v'chesed, Aseh imanu, Tzedaka v'chesed, ve'oshienu, Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Onenu Vanenu, Ki ein banu masim.
Tekiah Gedolah.